Hello, friends, and my cute little children. I hope you're all listening to the other stories of Lord Little Krishna. In the previous story, we get to know how other two demons, Vatsasura and Bakasura, were killed by Lord Krishna. In this story, we will hear out how Aghasura has attained his death in the hands of Krishna. So let's get started. Death of Aghasura. One day, Krishna decided to go deep into the forest and enjoy a picnic lunch there. So, getting up early in the morning, he woke up all his friends by loudly blowing his cowherd's horn. When all of them had assembled, he put before them his suggestion regarding the picnic. The boys were delighted to hear his plans. They all started in great glee with the calves herded in front. They carried with them slings, sticks, horns, flutes, and pots of curd and rice. They merrily played many games with Krishna and their leader. At this time, a demon named Aghasura, the brother of Putana, and Bakasura appeared there. He could not bear the sight of the delightful sports of the children. He thought within himself, "Oh, the boy in the middle of these children, with a flute in his hand, is the killer of my sister and brother. I shall revenge them by killing him." Thinking thus, that evil minded Aghasura assumed the form of a huge python. It is said that it was 8 miles long, and in girth it resembled a big mountain. Having assumed this gigantic and terrific form, he opened his mouth, which presented the appearance of a big cave, and he laid himself down on the road, expecting Krishna and other children to enter his mouth, mistaking it for a cave. His lower lip touched the earth and the upper lip the sky. In the cavity of his mouth, where everything was dark, his tongue resembled a broad road. His breath came out like a piercing wind, and his eyes blazed like fire. All the boys looked at it from a distance. None could understand that it was a living python. To them, it looked like a beautiful cave having the shape of a python. They discussed amongst themselves. One of them said, "Look here, friends, what is it that we see before us? Is it a living creature or not? Is it a living python or a cave of the mountain side?" They were very much tempted to enter the cave like mouth of the python to examine it. And they were sure that even it was a python, their dear Krishna would kill it and save them. So one of them said again, "Has this python come to swallow us? If it be so, he will immediately be killed by Krishna." They looked lovingly at the charming face of Krishna and laughing loudly and clapping hands. They entered the cave like mouth of the python. Krishna knew that it was a living python and that it was sure death to enter the mouth of the creature. Anxious to save them, he wanted to stop them from proceeding further. Before he could do so, however, the boys has already entered. Every one of them had entered except Krishna. The python has not closed its mouth. He was waiting for Krishna to enter it. Krishna, the protector of the world, thought for a moment. How could both the killing of the demon and saving of his friends be performed at one strike? He came to a decision. He too entered the python's mouth. He walked straight up to the air passage of the python and started enlarging its body. The air passage was blocked and the python started gasping for breath. It began to roll this way and that way with its eyes protruding. Ultimately, it died. Krishna looked at his friends. They had all fainted because of the poisonous fumes coming from inside the snake. But a single glance of Krishna revived them, and they all came out of the mouth of the dead python. After rescuing the boys from death, Krishna brought them all to the banks of the river Yamuna. He was feeling very hungry. He said, "Look, friends, it is late in the noon and we are all hungry. Let us therefore sit here and have our lunch." As if nothing has happened. There was no second opinion in reference to Krishna's suggestion. The boys joyfully agreed. They made the calves drink water to their fill and allowed them to graze in regions where there was a plenty of grass. They then all took out their lunch packets and sat in a circle with Krishna in the center. They ate with relish, making fun of one another. How nice to imagine this scene! Isn't it, children? We all should also enjoy the picnic this way. with our friends together, sitting in a circle, having lunch, having fun. Okay, let's proceed with the story. We make offerings to Lord Krishna in pictures and images, but here were boys who were blessed enough to have him in their midst in flesh and blood. How did he look? He had stuck his flute in the tiny fold between his waistcloth and the belly. The garment he wore was yellow silk. His blowhorn was tucked in the left armpit, while a small staff dangled from the left hand. His right hand held balls of curd rice, gleaming white, and all along he was cracking jokes and making all his friends roll with him. So life with Krishna is really pleasant and cheerful and joyful. Let's all pray that Krishna gives his blessings to all of us and give us a cheerful and happy, healthy life. So in the coming story, we will listen about Brahma's mischief. Stay tuned. Om Sri Krishna Parabrahmanyai Namaha. Om Sri Krishna Parabrahmanyai Namaha. Om Sri Krishna Parabrahmanyai Namaha.